Yo, what's going on here? It's Charlie here with another video. Today I'm going to be making this video pretty much going over this NASDAQ setup and mainly explaining how the war headlines right now and the sentiment based purely off of war with Iran and the oil, that's literally what's moving the market. And it's very unfortunate, right? It's very unfortunate because, at least for me personally, I've been finding consistency in my trading, and as of right now, everything just kind of moves off of this stuff. So I want to show you this example. This is just off a setup from today. Okay, so I'm going to put this down here. So today, for example, there's a NASDAQ setup, right? And this is very interesting to see because I took a trade like this back in March. It was the second week of March. And I took a trade like this, okay? Now, I took a trade like this when Sunday it opened up and we gapped down, and I knew internally we were probably going to be bullish to go fill in this, right? At that point in time, there was really no war on Iran, okay? There was nothing going on, and it wasn't affected. You know, NASDAQ wasn't nearly affected as it was, as it is right now, I should say, right? So there's a setup right here, okay? Now this setup, it wasn't even in my time zone. It was literally 3 a.m. for me. But again, I figured I'd go over it as well because it's kind of important. So my strategy, at least, is, I don't know if I can click on this, if it lets me. Oh my god, bro. All we want to do is find trending markets, right? And within that, I like to see, it's just supply and demand, except we want to see a liquidity sweep in front of it, okay? Find a liquidity sweep, right? And once we take that liquidity, we tap into our demand zone. If we get that initial reaction we want to see, then we're along to continue the overall trend. Now, this right here has to be in line with the overall market. This right here, again, I will always say, a lot of people teach it as a full strategy. This is just an entry model. You want to look for this entry model, but in line with the actual market and where we're heading to. So that's that. For example, right here, you see this, okay? Here's the entry model that I just showed you guys, right? And right here is your liquidity, okay? Right there's your liquidity. Price takes out at its own high, and we come back down, and we get that reaction off that demand zone, okay? We get that reaction off that demand zone. Very big candle, right? Some people kind of waited for a wick to form with this new 30-minute candle that came in at 3:30. Some people did that, and, you know, you target highs, right? So what's different about this trade? Well, first of all, back in March, when I took a setup just like this, you can literally go find it on my YouTube. Took a setup just like this, and the only difference was purely you don't have the war headlines. And I want to show you guys the difference between this. So at this point in time, I was looking around this time right here, okay? Market was just consolidating. Entry would have been back here. If I really wanted to, I actually still could have entered. If I, you know, missed that initial entry, for me, it was just, you know, that would have been your initial entry. And seeing all of this consolidation, it just really wasn't for me because of one thing, literally one thing. I knew that if price was going to go and create a upper wick, I should say, for the weekly candle and fill in this massive gap that we had, we're going to need to take opposite side liquidity, okay? And within doing that, this right here, this little tiny low right here, and us taking that liquidity is not enough liquidity to be swept to just now randomly pump the whole way to go and make a weekly top wick. That's not how it works at all, okay? We need to take real liquidity. And after this, all of this consolidation, I knew that we would go and take this liquidity, all of this liquidity, to then continue to the buy side. Whether we take this liquidity and continue to the buy side, or we can take, or we take this liquidity and just continue down, not my problem. The main thing I'm focusing on is price is going to take this liquidity before we do anything, right? So at this point in time, straight consolidation, wasn't entering because I knew whether we continue up or whether we continue down, we're going to take this liquidity if we're going to continue up. So that's the main thing my mind was on, right? My mind was on all of this consolidation, right? We're going to manipulate this and probably displace higher, right? But what happened? Kept consolidating, and this is my example. This is my, reason I'm making this YouTube video, is because during this, it was literally more of like, okay, we're starting to get early in the morning now. Headlines are probably going to come out as soon as these people start waking up and word starts getting around, and again, just headlines purely just coming out, it's going to start moving the market. So, for me, I'm not getting in on this trade because, first of all, my bias is whatever we do, we're taking this liquidity. That's my bias. That's my overall bias. So whatever we're doing, we're taking this liquidity, we're manipulating all of this consolidation, all of this liquidity, we're manipulating it before we continue up, okay? But really windy out here. With that being said, there is also the opportunity of complete random news headlines coming out. And that is exactly what you see. And I think this is a problem with literally every single strategy. It's a problem with me, right? I'm not going to deny it. I can't really enter a trade and hold it for that long. And I can't really enter a trade with full 100% confidence because you don't know what headline is going to come out next. So right here, right, price still consolidating. And right here, we get not just from Financial Juice, but on multiple headlines that France and UK coming days are going to hold a conference, okay, that talks about freedom of the navigation in Hormuz, or however you pronounce it, right? And that comes out, right? That's bullish, right? That's bullish. Okay, cool, right? So that comes out. We get a little bit of volume, right? And what happens here? No volume again. Why? Because there's no headlines coming out. And this is still at 5 in the morning, right? There's really no sessions going on. It's after London kill zone. And New York really isn't even open yet. So it's just sideways. What do we get right here? Israel, okay, literally says, oh yeah, hey, we support Trump's blockade of the Strait. We think this is a good thing because obviously us and Israel is apparently best friends. And what is that? Massively bullish for the market. So then we pump. So we get these types of moves before we get the actual move that, holy hell, it's so windy. We get these actual moves straight from headlines before we get the actual technical analysis move that I wanted to see. And what does this cause? This causes just price to do random things that is out of anyone's control. It's out of my control. It's out of your control. And people that enter these trades, in my opinion, I think, kind of get lucky off of these, right? Now, it's different if you're entering right here, okay? Me, personally, after seeing that and seeing all of this consolidation, it made it more clear to me that if price was going to continue up, we were going to go take out this liquidity before we do anything. You can see it playing out right now, right? Price comes down, manipulates all of this liquidity, and we're getting strong reaction from it. Now, next, what we do from here is probably another war headline. If the next headline's bullish, we're going to continue up. If the next headline's bearish, we're going to start dumping. Holy hell. I apologize, boys, but it's windy. Anyways, you guys get what I'm saying. And I literally just want to make this video because it's crazy to, any time a stupid, simple headline comes out, it'll just move the market. Another headline comes out, it'll move the market, right? There's no headlines. There's no volume. It's like that. It's been like that for the last, 2 weeks. It's not fun, right? It's horrible. And every strategy is realistically dealing with this problem. It sucks, but I just wanted to at least make this video so people understand at least, why this trade ran up first before manipulating all of this consolidatory liquidity and then doing the actual move, right? And again, if this trade would have been in my time zone and I would have entered right here, right, I can't say the same thing I'm saying now because I didn't know at this point in time that all of this consolidation would take place, and I didn't know all of this liquidity would build sideways for price to then manipulate and continue to the buy side, right? I didn't know that was going to happen, right? So if you entered this trade originally, then, whatever. But again, it's crazy because, around this point in time, I'd say right around here when all of this consolidation was coming in, it was kind of really clear to me. And yeah, things just happen. News headlines, it'll pump it. run straight to TP, and people, in my opinion, if I didn't know what I know now, I would think that I'm doing something right, and I would think that, hey, this is hitting TP because of my strategy, right? But that's not how it is. It's hitting TP because of war headlines and volume coming into the market, right? But when those war headlines calm down, technical analysis, in my opinion, still plays out, where price comes down and actually manipulates a lot of liquidity before continuing to the upside, because we have to take out opposite side liquidity before we make that initial move, and that's what we're always doing, right? If we're trending up, usually always manipulating liquidity. Now right here, this was obviously Asia liquidity, or Asia range, right? So it's always sideways movement, right? And we go and take Asia range as high when we range more, right? And to continue to that buy side, 9 chances out of 10, not 100% of the time, because not everything's 100%, but 9 chances out of 10 we're going to go and manipulate these lows. But we kept consolidating, looking great to, build orders and manipulate these lows before continuing up. But again, war headlines just move the market. Moves the market, runs straight to TP, and then after that, price comes back down and does its original intention, in my opinion, which is manipulating that liquidity. So I just kind of wanted to make this video because I was sitting here and it was just kind of crazy watching this live. Is like every single headline that comes out, it's just, you can stare on the chart and just see it pump, and it's crazy. It's a crazy time we're trading in. Never traded in anything like this in my life. It is very interesting in how it's trading. And again, like I said, like whatever we do here depends on the next headline. As much as it sucks, and if there's no headline, right, price can, keep doing what it's doing, but literally the next big move is coming straight from the headline. Because, again, people's waiting to see if this war is over, if this war keeps continuing. That's all it is. That's literally all it is. And it's not just like this on NASDAQ, right? It's like this on gold. It's like this on US 30. It's like this on oil. It's like this on everything. These things also affect the Forex markets as well, right? These are a lot more volatile with it, but it's crazy. It's a crazy time we're trading in. But I just want to make this YouTube video to, even if you don't even trade the same strategy, just purely how setups can win straight off of news right now, or setups can also lose straight off of news. You can enter a perfectly good position, have nothing wrong with it, and it can just lose off of news. And that's the same thing, like around this time, there was nothing to not take the trade, essentially. And then once it started consolidating, it was more clear to me that price is probably going to manipulate these levels since we created such clear structure. But again, I was literally sitting there and I was like, well, it doesn't even matter, because it'll win or lose literally off of the next headline or whatever comes out, because that's literally what's been happening. God forbid Trump tweets and you'll see another candle like this. Like, this is literally all it is right now. Again, another headline. It'll, if people were short right here, they got stopped out. If people was long, they hit TP. It's the same thing back and forth. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I just want to show you guys. Pretty interesting. But my opinion, it's kind of hard to say, but at least my opinion is just, I guess, what I'm doing at least is being very cautious and understanding that, if I enter a trade that wasn't good, I should say, and it wins off of headlines, did I do something right? You know what I mean? Or did I do something wrong? I think that's the biggest thing is understanding that, because you can't get blinded by if it just won or if it lost. Same thing if you take a great position and it loses because of a headline. Did you do something right or did you do something wrong? You probably did everything right, and this is just out of your control. But it's just the markets we're trading in right now. So, like, again, that's why sometimes like, for me, I'm being just very careful. And that's all, right? If I see a setup I like, I'm going to enter. But fortunately, for the last literally 3 weeks, there hasn't been a single setup at all. Literally nothing. This was the only one. And again, clear as day that we're going to go manipulate these levels. It's just news came out, we pumped, right? And then we actually go and manipulate those levels, those orders that were resting here previously. So that's pretty much it for this YouTube video, guys. I hope you learned something. Hope you realize how much this stuff plays a role realistically, at least right now, right? Not all the time it's like this by any means, right? Not at all. It's just global tensions are all on Iran war, all on U.S. war, all of this stuff on where this oil is getting transported in, where this oil is going to. You know, who's going to control this flow of oil? That's literally all it's just sitting waiting on. And this isn't even trading. This is long-term investing as well. Every time oil that has pumped like this, statistically speaking, 9 chances out of 10 we've went into a recession. So, you know, people are paying attention to this stuff. Every single headline is moving the market up or down because, you know, we've never had something like this as important since probably the Iraq War, or probably before that, probably 2008. But again, 2008, we realistically didn't have a war, right? So not everyone was sitting here waiting on these war headlines. So it's just a very interesting time we're in. And yeah, I guess hopefully I, you know, helped you by at least showing you how these can make setups win, how they can make setups lose, all of this stuff. And just to be more careful, realistically, just, you know, be careful. That's all you can do, right? You can't predict when the next headline's going to come out and stop you out. Can't predict when the next headline's going to come out and hit your TP. You don't know. No one knows. So all we can do is trade as best as we possibly can. I guess keep trading with discipline. If you're not trading with discipline right now, when this war ends, then you know, and markets get back to normal, you're not going to have anything to, you know, benefit from, in my opinion. It's really fucking windy. But all right, boys, I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.